So it's another Labor Day bank holiday weekend, which means we have like 3 days extra Monday, which is a long weekend, and it's going to be full of, entertaining children, spending time with the families. The sun is out, and on the grimy streets of London, we're seeing zombies walking about in broad daylight, off their faces, high as a kite. Pissed teenagers that are pissed that can't stand. Homeless people wandering around. You're just trying to take your kid to the park. Get some vitamin D, get some sunshine. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Why should I stay indoors when the sun is out? And you're seeing all these lost causes out and about, walking around aimlessly, shifting about. It's sad. I get it. It's sad. But we can't stay cooped up in our houses. We need some vitamin D and some sunshine. And all I see is crackheads. But the thing is, I prefer my local crackheads, my local um, off their head people, because I don't want to go to another area and then experience the unknown. Do you know what I mean? At least we know ours. But whew, it was just like, I want to get back home. Like, you've had your exercise, child. You've had your vitamin D. It's time to go home, okay? Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Lord, thank you. Please keep me sane, because these people are literally zombies walking around. I'm not blaming everyone. They're just so miserable. Miserable. And if they're not miserable, then they're crazy. Oh my, I don't know what it is, what's wrong with them, but aliens need to look down on here and be like, what is wrong with humanity? Because it's just, they're just weird. And I honestly believe, like, if more people, had their children with them, then that will force them to act normal for the sake of the kids. But people are not taking their kids out. People have like abandoned their responsibilities and are aimlessly walking streets and doing nothing productive. They're just being complete utter crackpots and junkies walking around aimlessly with nowhere to go. You know, possessed people. If they had like children with them, if they had the elderly with them, their family members with them, they would act normal. But these people have clearly abandoned their families and their responsibilities, and they're in an environment where they don't need to, they don't have any dependence. They're literally, they choose to be, they choose to live that dark life of wandering around with your crackpot friends and your, it's like a madhouse, like this area. Like the unhinged are all like, there's more of them, seriously. And you're constantly like, it's just weird. They're just possessed people literally walking around. And I feel really sorry for them. It's getting worse. It's actually getting worse. So yeah, it's not particularly nice. And then it's like, yeah, no, it's really, really quite interesting. But obviously, yeah, we just I don't know what anybody else is doing, what's going on and stuff. But I'm just having my cup of tea now. It's the after. Oh, it's still quite sunny despite it being quite late. It's like 6 o'clock, and I'm just really happy today because, like, I feel like I know what my goals are. I feel like I know what I'm doing, because when you're around these kind of environments, you have to think about an exit plan, some sort of exit plan, because you clearly see like people like the situation deteriorating. You don't see it getting any better, and you're just like, oh my God, I need to start planning, getting ready, prepping. Having those that are near you, like in your community, like aware of what's going on, keeping in touch with everybody and stuff. I think that's very, very important. Yeah, because um yeah, there's like, sorry, what's the word? Yeah. And I feel like these holidays bring out the worst in these people. Like when there's like a reset, when there's like a public holiday, because the everyday routine has been shifted, then you're like sitting, you see in their faces like what's actually happening, and you see it like light up, like, oh dear, this is what we have, this is what we're experiencing. And I just, I pray for that the Most High continues to protect us, protect our energy, and may we be, it's got to the point where we need to put the lamb's blood on your front door. If you need to put the lamb's blood on the front door, put it on there, because there is a very weird energy here, a very weird energy. At least the sun is out. That's all I've got to say. And yeah, it's nice. And I love spending time with children because they're just so unaware of what's going on. They're so innocent. They're just there playing, and then, they're just in their little bubble, not aware of all the craziness that's happening around them. Like, and I just love that. And this is why people should really be having children. Like, they should really be embracing having children, because children bring normality and love. Like, they have a special angel protecting them. So when you have them around, you are protected, because these children are God's children and they have that blessing. And if I always support families and children, and this negativity of, we shouldn't have kids. I hate that. I think that's demonic. Embrace children, embrace having families, embrace having children around, in places. What I don't like is when institutions don't welcome families. I find that demonic. Like, people who have issues with children. Children are the most innocent people on earth. They're so sweet. Why have you got something against children? Like, so weird. Like, if more businesses were more welcoming of children, then we wouldn't see all this bad behavior. You know what I mean? If more children were using the tube, we'd see better behavior. But because a lot more children and elderly are not being welcomed in spaces, we're seeing behavior deteriorate. We're seeing men not standing up for pregnant women. Like, get up, you fool. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're seeing such incels, such bad manners, such awfulness. And, children are our future, and we need to embrace that. We need to help them and also give them guiding for the next generation, because we do not want to let our children go astray. We need to be there for them. We need to be good examples for the youth. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, something's going on, but us millennials, we strive, we carry on, we look fly, we put it on our mama and we dance, and you know what I mean? We don't give basically, whatever. Bring it on. Bring it on. Okay, because the Most High has made us, with iron and steel, and none of your BS is going to break us, okay? Because we were around before the so-called social media era. We were in the club, you know, raising the roof, enjoying ourselves. We didn't need this thing, and we still don't. So we were very versatile, and we will survive. Literally, we will survive. And Beyonce rocks. So yeah, she's millennial. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, bye, 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 bye. Anyway, bye, 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 bye.